Connecticut. It was fall and the water was freezing, but Pighead, being Pighead, insisted that we swim amongst the dead bodies and leaves. That was the first night we had sex. It went on like this for a while. I mean, no one ever cared for me as much as he did, and I never cared for anyone as much as I did for him. One night, channeling my inner 13-year-old girl, I decided to write out a list of everything I liked about him. In order to avoid getting carpal tunnel, I decided to narrow it down to my top 3. 1. Pighead thought I was special and important man I've ever met. I mean, he traveled to places with names that I couldn't even spell, listened to bands that I never even heard of, and already read every book in my collection twice. 3. Pighead was the only person who could make me laugh so deeply and honestly that my ribs ached for days. And when he laughed, it was sincere. It sounded like music. It went on like this for about a year. But eventually it wasn't enough. I mean, usually I could have casual sex, but not with him. It was always fast, intense, hungry, but no romance. I'd go over to his apartment and he'd cook me dinner. I'd watch his hands, cut the vegetables, season the meat, stir the water, grind the pepper. I'd watch and I'd think, I love those hands. Back in Manhattan one night, I told him I loved him.
I love you too, Sebastian.
And then,
But I'm not in love with you. I'm sorry about what's happened between us. I should have never let things get sexual. It's all my fault.
you're not in love with me. You're sorry about what's happened between us. You should have never let things get sexual. It's all your fault.
You just repeat what
Yeah,
I said.
I know. I'm trying to let things sink in.
Come on, Sebastian. I'm sorry.
Had you known what?
Had I known that this would have happened, I never.
Had you known this would have happened?
Let me finish. Had I known that you'd fall in love with me, I never would have gotten involved with you in the first place. There. Is that what you wanted to hear me say?
Obviously not.
Come on, Sebastian. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you.
Yeah. I know it's not you and it's me and blah blah blah.
No,
right?
it is you, actually.
What?
I love you. You know I do. But can you honestly blame me for not allowing myself to fall in love with you? I mean, you're sort of a mess. No, you're not even sort of a mess. You're a complete train wreck.
I just told you that I was in love with you, and you denied me, and now you're calling me a train wreck?
I'm not trying to be harsh, but you need to understand. Look at your life. Look at the filth you live in. Look at your job. Slowly slipping away from you each time you show up to work, either late, hungover, or still drunk. I can't be with you. It's too much of a risky investment.
Ha! Says the mortgage banker.
Says the concerned best friend. You need to stop.
I'm working on it.
No, you're not.
Well, I'm trying.
Sebastian, no, you're not. When was the last time you had someone over to your apartment?
Come on, don't start with this. You're a neat freak. Nothing
I'm
is
not
ever
talking
clean with you.
about me. I'm talking about anyone. Just answer the question. When was the last time you had someone over to your apartment?
6 months? A year? I don't see what this has to do with
You
it.
have not had a single person over to your apartment in over a year.
I don't have many friends.
You have me?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do, and you know that. Now, I want to hear you say it. Why don't you have people over?
Are you really going to make me do this?
I am really going to make you.
You know why I don't have people over. What, do you want to hear it out loud or
I
something?
want you to hear it out loud.
Well, I'm not doing this. This is stupid.
God damn it, Sebastian. Stop being so stubborn and just answer the question.
Because of the bottles, okay? There's got to be over 1,000 stashed everywhere. I just haven't had time to throw them out. It's a small apartment. It gets messy very quickly. Whenever I hear someone in the hallway, I freeze in case they knock on my door so I can pretend that I'm not home. I feel dirty.
Just sad for you.
I'm sad for myself.
It has to change.
You will. You will. Just give it time. But it didn't change. Of course it didn't. I mean, we both knew it wouldn't. That night, I tried forgetting everything Pighead said by starting and finishing a bottle of Dewars. And then the next night it was 2 bottles of Dewars, and then 3, and so on and so forth. Because I don't know what hurt more, getting rejected by Pighead or being accused of having a drinking problem. I mean, either way, I couldn't talk to him. I tried dating, but everyone I dated was Pighead in a different body. It was about a year until I finally thought I was over him, until like every single song didn't remind me of him and I could go an entire day without thinking about him. I mean, sure, I missed our friendship and talking to him and seeing him every day, but that was the only way I could, get over it. So I was surprised when I got a call from him one night.
You need to come downstairs, now.
Is all he said when I picked up the phone. Immediately when I got downstairs, I could tell something was wrong. His face was contorted and he was pacing back and forth. It looked like he needed a drink.
Finally,
He said with hostility, "Jesus, what the hell is the matter with you?" He looked at me with this sort of hostility I'd never seen in him before. "What is it?" "Come on, Pighead, you know you can tell me anything. What's wrong?"
Sebastian, I'm sick.
I could feel myself starting to panic. "What do you mean you're sick? Do you have the cold or the flu? It's probably just
No,
flu, right?"
Sebastian, please, stop.
He was trying not to cry. It's not cancer, right? Like some sort of degenerative disease? And it's not like you could be HIV positive, right? But it was. he tested positive. That night I slept at his house, just holding him and showing him that it didn't matter to me. That was the night that he told me,
I love you, Sebastian. I'm in love with you.
I've been dying to hear those words since I first met him. Now he was saying them. Instead of embracing him and telling him, "I love you too," all I could think was, "You fucker. No, you don't. And it's all right. I finally come to terms with that."
Yes, I do. I love you.
"No, you're scared. You're angry. You're confused. You know I'm here for you. And you know that you don't love me." I was angry that I had spent so much time and energy falling out of love with him, only for him to fall in love with me after being diagnosed with a terminal disease. So now we're friends, and we don't talk about his HIV, because we don't have to, because he's fine, except for sometimes. And I thought I was over all that crap, but obviously I'm not. Obviously, I'm some sort of mess. Back in group therapy.
I can relate to Sebastian. When my partner was diagnosed with HIV, I left him. Couldn't handle it. What I regret most is that he died alone, never knowing how much I really loved him. He thought it was his disease that drove me away, but that's not it. I left him before he could leave me. He died alone because of my selfishness, my addiction. I was doing a line of coke when his mother called to tell me the news. I did more after I hung up.
A few people nod their head in somber recognition. Yes, they made. I can relate. I can relate to letting a loved one down. I can relate to being a completely worthless excuse for a human being, undeserving of ever really, truly being happy again. What am I doing here? These people are the ones that are sick, not me. You disgust me.
Excuse me?
You disgust me.
Sebastian.
You left your boyfriend when he needed you the most. You are weak and you are selfish.
Let's try to stick with I statements.
Fine. I think that you're an awful human being. I think that it is disgusting and sickening that you would leave your dying lover and choose yourself and your drug over him.
You hate me because you are me.
And then there's reality, just standing in front of my face, yelling at me. I am Kathy. I'm everybody in this room. It's not about drinking excessively on a Tuesday night or throwing back a few too many. It's about being in rehab because I almost died. It's about being dragged to rehab or about losing Pighead. It's about me being an alcoholic. My lips move when I whisper the words out loud. I'm an alcoholic.